All right, I'm going to make what looks like a microphone holder, and I'm going to use Tinkercad, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm an artist, I am not an engineer, so this is how I figured out how to do it. I'm going to grab a cylinder, throw it on the workspace. I'm going to grab the corner and drag it to make it larger. I keep my numbers uniform so I know it's a circle. If your numbers are not uniform, it's not truly a circle even though it looks like it. Okay, I'm going to grab one of the top points and I'm going to pull up on it to make that cylinder larger. Now I'm going to make a couple of what looks like pads of margarine, a couple of slices of butter by pulling one of those boxes over, and I'm going to use the same tool in the opposite direction to make them smaller. Now I'm going to insert them into the cylinder, and I'm going to drag them up using the elevation tool. The elevation tool is the top point on there, and as soon as you pull on it, it will come up. It'll leave the table. The other one will simply enlarge it. Now by placing two of these points in the top there, I've got to highlight it, and then you hit group. If you don't highlight it and hit group, you're not going much further. It's not going to do anything for you. So once you do that, it'll solidify the two of them. They are now one. Okay, these boxes off to the side that I've highlighted, they're basically an eraser tool. Whatever you put those on, no matter how you put them, if you highlight them, it will disappear, cut through them. You can put holes in things, you can change the sizes and shapes, whatever you want to do. It's basically an erasing tool. All right, I'm going to make that thing larger, and I'm going to grab the rotation tool on there. It has multiple rotation tools. You can move it in any position you'd like. So once you get it to rotate, you can rock it back and forth a little bit. It'll be a little jerky. Move your mouse out to the end of it, as far out on the dial as you can, and you'll get a lot better control over it. All right, I'm going to insert it into my object, so that way when I elevate it, I know exactly where I need to go. So I'm going to elevate it one more time, and ta-da, I'm ready to do my cut. So I'm going to hit group, and that will cut it right off. You have to highlight it, make it active, and then hit group, and bingo, it's gone. Okay, I did the other side. I'm not going to bother you with that, so I'm just moving right along. All right, I made this 45 and 45. That way I know it's a true circle, and then I elevated it. Now I made another cylinder using basically the eraser tool, and I'm going to insert it into this, and now I'm going to create a tube. I have to highlight it and then crop it, and now it's gone. Now I'm going to add another box off to the side. I've created another box and I'm sliding it in. I'll highlight it, hit group, and that will erase that area. Now a lot of times I don't use these grids because, like I said, I'm an artist and I really don't get into what all this math is and everything. But if you can place your object on the lines and be able to see the lines, what you want to do, it is extremely helpful. And in a case like this, it really works. All right, I'm going to grab another box and I'm going to slide it into the little tube that I've made that's got a little cutout. I like making a little bit of an area, where I can see the piece pushing through because I'm going to 3D print these, and I want to make sure that that's not a fault line where it could break later. I like to see it protrude through so I know that my add-on to this component is deep. It's all the way seated. Okay, now I'm going to group it together, so now it is one. I want to crop the corners off so this piece could be rotated inside the piece, so I'm going to use two erasing boxes, highlight them, and hit Control again, hit the group, and it's gone. Okay, now if I slide this in place, I'm using the grid, believe it or not, and I'm sliding it over it. Now you can see it's a little too large, but that's okay. That was kind of intentional. Now when I slide it back out, I'll be able to use that as a measurement. All right, I'm going to make another one of these cylinders kind of in an egg shape, the erasing tool, and I'm going to highlight it, hit Control C, and then hit Control V, and it will give me another one. Because it's a pain in the neck sometimes to move these things around and to shape them and get them into the right position, and you're going to need another one. So it's a nice thing if you need 3 or 4 of the same thing that you're doing. You can just Control Copy and then hit Control V, and ta-da, you have 2. All right, now if I slide these onto both sides of this, I'm going to be able to basically erase the meat off of there and be able to slide the other piece in, as you can see. So it's going to be a functioning piece. Now I hit the Control and I hit the group button, and now they're gone. And now you can see it's really starting to look like what we want it to be. So I'm going to slide the two of them together. I did change the color of this. Whenever I join parts together, I like to change the colors so that it's easier for me to see. You can go into your palette and just select your piece, and there you go. Ding, it's red. Now that we put it together, it's really starting to look like what it's supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and make a shaft out of the erasing tool, whatever that thing is. And once again, when you drag it to whatever size you want, make sure that the sizes are the same. I went with 10 and 10. And then I use the tool to dial it over. Now, here's one of the things that you can use. The numbers are very good for if you're an amateur and you have no idea. If you want to just flip something exactly onto its side, even though it looks like it's on its side, it's really not. When you flip something over, it's a 90. If you want to make a complete circle, it's a 360. So it's just simple measurements that help out. Now you can slide that clean through. Now I'm through both parties. I'm through the orange one and the red one. But if I highlight the two of those together and I hit group, I can pull the rod out or the rod's going to be gone, but those parts are now unison and it's not going to work. There's no way for it to move. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm only going to highlight the orange lower part with the piece through it, hit the group button, and now that hole goes through. But you can see that it did not puncture the other piece. But these pieces on this work table, they're completely independent. If I move one, the other one will stay exactly where it was. So I can put a new rod, using the cylinder with the eraser type thing, whatever it is, I don't even know what it's called. I can slide that right through, and I know I'm in the exact same position, but now I could remove the lower base, and that's going to stay there because it's a completely different, foreign body. If I highlight it and then I hit the group tool one more time, boom. When I put them together, the holes line up perfectly. So there you go. That's how to use Tinkercad 1, 2, 3, quick and easy. And this is something I made using Tinkercad. It's actually a cell phone holder. I put my phone in it, and it sort of enhances the sound because it's like a band shell design. And I'm going to put some LEDs in it, and I might give them out to some friends and stuff like that. It took like 2 days to make it, and it took like 2 days to print it. If any of this stuff was helpful to you, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.